We are in Debert, Nova Scotia, and we are about to take off and fly to Prince Edward Island. We're going to visit two airports in Prince Edward Island. First, we're going to stop at Summerside, have coffee, any old excuse to go flying, I guess. And from there, we're going to take off and land in Charlottetown. Once the checklist and the briefings were completed, we backtracked runway 34 and took off to the north. Now, most private pilots I know, they don't fly because they have to get somewhere. They fly because they love to fly somewhere. And this is the case with us. After departure, we contacted Halifax Terminal for flight following.
Flight following, please. Fox Romeo Uniform Roger, squawk 4356. Fox Romeo Uniform identified 2600, the Halifax altimeter is 3041. Identified in 3041, the altimeter Fox Romeo Uniform, thank you. Roger, are you stopping in Moncton or just touching the over circuits? We're doing the navigation to Moncton VOR, and from there we are actually stopping in Summerside. Okay, thank you. Roger.
Although it was a beautiful day, the winds were very strong, and we found a somewhat comfortable altitude at 3,500 feet. We flew over the 14-kilometer Confederation Bridge that connects New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. It's early March, so you can see the ice is still packed down at the Northumberland Straits. And from here we started our descent into small airport of Summerside. Summerside is a small airfield on the western side of the island of Prince Edward Island, and I contacted them, but unfortunately there was nobody there. So I had to calculate the wind and which side of the runway I had to take. After calculating which side of the runway the winds are favoring, I crossed over runway 0624 and I entered the left downwind of 06. We taxied to the club. Unfortunately, there was nobody there. We shut down the engine, secured the aircraft, and we took a walk around. Maybe we could have found a coffee shop.
we were unsuccessful, and the day was cold, so we got back on the airplane and we headed to Charlottetown.
So we got back on the plane, went through the same procedures and briefings, and we taxied back to the beginning of runway 06 at Summerside, and we took off towards Charlottetown.
Please don't take me wrong. We weren't there for the coffee. We were there for the sheer pleasure of flying. And flying sometimes makes you do stupid things. Your love for flying. Any excuse to go flying is a good excuse. You can get coffee anywhere. You don't have to fly to Summerside to get coffee. But that's what flying is all about. Give me any reason, however lame that reason may be, a good day, a couple of good friends, and off we go.
We had a good tailwind, about 18 knots or something like that. So our speed was, our ground speed, or speed over the ground, was about 127 knots or so. So we made the flight to Charlottetown pretty short, about 15 or 20 minutes. Once we got close to Charlottetown, they instructed us to take the left base of runway 03. There was some traffic coming in from Toronto, so we landed right behind them. As we were flying the left base, it was a good opportunity to me, although it was a clear day, it was a good opportunity for me to practice the ILS system, instrument landing system, on runway 03 at Charlottetown. So I inputted the frequency of the ILS into Nav1 and practiced my skills in keeping the needles crossed.
And Fox Romeo Uniform is cleared off the runway 03 onto Charlie. And radio, can we go to the terminal? Don't park at the terminal?
Yeah, how long are you going to be here?
Probably about half hour.
Okay, you should be able to park just below the tower there if you like.
Roger. Fox Romeo Uniform.
We parked near the tower and we walked to the main terminal. The passenger airplane had arrived from Toronto, so the security guards had to escort us in together with the passengers.
After we had lunch at the terminal, and believe me, it's not about the lunch. It's about the experience and the freedom of flying. We go back on the airplane and we prepare for our departure to go back home to the bird. Crosswind.
Yeah.
And down radio, Foxtrot Romeo uniform on 03, we're ready to go.
Foxtrot Romeo uniform, roger, wind 310 at 8, altimeter 3042.
Foxtrot Romeo uniform, thank you.
Ready? Yeah.
People often ask me why pilots are taking so many videos. And you know, I've been flying for 20 years, and every time I get in that cockpit, it's like the first time all over again. So my answer is because flying is a lot of fun.
Thank you all for watching, and before I go, I would like to read you a little something from one of my favorite aviation books from an old pilot by the name of Ernest Gunn. The book is titled Fate is the Hunter. I'll teach you how to escape death. There is a raven in the eastern sea which is called Yitai, Dullhead. This dull head cannot fly very high and seems very stupid. It hops only a short distance and nestles close with others of its kind. In going forward, it dare not lead, and in going back, it dare not lag behind. At the time of feeding, it takes what is left over by the other birds. Therefore, the ranks of this bird are never depleted, and nobody can do them any harm. Well, sometimes when I fly, I feel like that bird. Aviation is one of those fields that you can never get cocky. You can never say, I'm a good pilot. There's always room for improvement. There's always new things to learn. There's always mistakes made. It's one of those fields that you just got to be that dumb bird. Humble as humble can be. And in aviation, fate is the hunter. So long, everybody. Thanks for watching, and fly safe.